Hello friends, how you doing? Day 529, oh my gosh. I am watching a virtual leadership conference this weekend and just got back home. Went to a friend's place for a viewing party. Anyways, oh my gosh, so many powerful lessons. I just want to come in, obviously it's a little late, almost midnight, but I wanted to come in to share a few notes that I took. One of the speakers was John C Maxwell, amazing leadership guru. And I love his teaching because, number one, they're very powerful, but more importantly, they're simple to understand. For me, I love simple because simple allows me to understand. If it's simple enough and I can understand, I can actually apply. And so he gave some 8 points on getting the most return on your failures. And so I don't have enough time right now to really go through all of it in detail. So I'm going to share a few for now, and maybe I'll jump in tomorrow or another day to share more, but I'll just share a few for now. So number one, he talks about properly preparing people for failure. And so I think when people start, start a business or start on their trying to achieve some goals, they may not be familiar with how much a failure they're going to have to actually deal with and go through to actually achieve the results that they want. And so he talked about the law of process, which means success doesn't happen in a day; it happens daily. Meaning, what do you do on a daily basis that's actually going to help you move forward? And so, if you focus on the law of process after identifying your goals, of course, then it'll help you take a step closer to reaching your goals. Sometimes people kind of lose that, and so they think, oh, after 4 months, a year, 2 years, they're not where they think they should be, and then they give up. Not realizing, hey, if you're only focusing on way out here, you should be at a certain place at a certain time. Well, what do you do on a daily basis to get you there? And so, obviously, you got to break it down to see what you need to do on a daily basis. And obviously, you should have goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, and so forth, of course. But he talked about preparing people for failure. Because most people, they don't really understand the price that they have to pay to achieve what they want. And the more important is that you think that you want, or the bigger the prize, the bigger the price you're going to have to pay. So the question is, how important is it to you? Okay. Second thing, he talked about a cycle, having a cycle. Sorry, my mind's a little. I've had a full day of just gleaning all this amazing information, and I've heard so many other amazing talks as well on leadership, on just, oh my gosh, so good. Can you tell I love learning this stuff? But anyways, talk about a cycle, how, again, getting the most return on your failure. He says, number one, what you do, first thing you have to do is you have to test, right? Number two is failure, okay? The question is, you're going to fail. Okay, so number one, you test. Number two, you can fail. Number three is the opportunity to learn. Okay, so learning is the fruit of failure. Okay, so from here, there's two choices. Number one, you can either learn from your failure, or you can not learn from your failure. If you do learn from it, then you have a chance to improve. Okay, so improvement is the fruit of learning. And so here is where you can actually improve and become better. And if you do, then you re-enter the cycle. Okay. However, if you go the other way, meaning after you test, you fail, and then if you choose to not learn, then you're not going to change and you're not going to improve, then you re-enter. And so the way he showed it visually is that, okay, here you test, you fail, if you learn, you improve, you re-enter. So if you go the other way though, you test, you fail, you don't learn, you don't improve, and then you re-enter here at a lower level, right? Again, it's all a cycle. The question is, what is your focus? Are you trying to learn? Are you trying to improve? Okay, because again, that's how you're going to maximize your return on failure, right? We all know return on ROI, right? Return on investment. What he talked about is return on failure, because a failure is, it has to be paired up with success. And here's another point he made, is that you have to pair them, failure and success. Most people, they try to separate them, and then what that actually does is it gives a false picture of what it takes to create success. Okay, and then the last thing I want to share with you is he talked about choosing the right response to failure. Okay, and so because if you choose the right response, what it does is it'll give you humility and it'll help shape your character. Okay, and if you have the right response to failure with humility, what it does, it allows you to be teachable. And if you're a person that is developing character, then it allows you to be a stronger person. Okay, and so he went on to actually share a short story of an interviewer. I forget who it was, but he was interviewing, this CEO or someone who's, in charge of some pretty big decisions, right? That can make or lose a lot of money. And he said, hey, of all your failures you ever had, right, which one would you do over? And this is somebody who's lost millions or tens of millions of dollars, right, on certain decisions. And he said, you know what? I wouldn't do over any of those failures. And he said the reason why is because those biggest failures is where he learned the biggest lessons, and which has helped him get to where he is today. And so John also went on to share that every person he's talked to, every time he asks this question, it's basically the same answer. When you learned your biggest lessons in life, what happened? And almost, I think every person he's talked to has always been a time of difficulty, a time of challenges, and every time they overcame, they learned from it and became better. And so sometimes we don't want challenges, sometimes we don't want to go through certain things, but if you choose the right response to going through that challenge or that failure, you can actually learn a lot from it. It can drastically change the trajectory of your life. And so my brain is starting to be not working so well. So I'm just going to kind of just end it there. There's so much more I can share with you. Oh my gosh, so many amazing talks. But I just want to come in and share a little bit of a snippet of what I learned today. Going back to tomorrow for another couple of sessions. But my friends, hopefully something that I shared can help you in some way, shape, or form. And hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.